Okay, today we are playing a game on Paris. We are in the Silver SR range, and we will be playing Ashe on attack and Gongo the Bongo on defense, which is a weird order to do things. You'd normally expect them to go the other way around, but it's fine. You can play Genji on defense. I don't care. We are also, of course, on the console, so consider yourself forewarned. And we're in Silver, so we're not going to worry about the team comp, because people don't know how to play their heroes yet, so there's no point worrying about the team comp beyond do you have a healer, do you have a tank. We got both those things. We're good, we're good, we're good. So we've got to attack Paris first, always super fun and engaging. We get to play the game right now. Am I going to walk around this corner and see Orisa Bastion? Maybe even a Mei. And miraculously, actually, no, we don't even see a shield. It was a good fucking day. So, he's upset. And this first checkpoint doesn't take much effort for us to capture, because we've just killed Soldier immediately. Widow's looking down her scope, so we're going to kill her as well. Genji's after us now. Get the dynamite on him, and as we can see, that dropped him real low, so the dynamite kills him as well. Hooray, we just killed half the team ourselves and captured the checkpoint. Great job, team. But it's only a 2 CP map, so we've completed like 25% of the map at this point, because all 2 CP maps, the second point is so much worse than the first one. If we're talking about like Volskaya, even the first checkpoint might even be like 15% of the effort, you know. 2 CP, very well-designed maps, like 2-year-old arguments, but, you know, they haven't stopped being relevant, have they? 2 CP hasn't gotten any better over 2 years, has it? It has gotten very nominally better. You know what would make 2 CP dramatically better? And, you know, this isn't even that big of a change, but do you know what would make it so much better? If instead of it tracking in 33% increments, if it tracked in 25% increments. That would make 2 CP a lot better than it already is. And that's not a massive change, you know, but you get a minute less to attack now, so that's pretty nice. To be fair, they also changed the respawn thing as well, because that was such nonsense. If they captured the first point in overtime, and you were respawning, you would get the full, like, maximum extended respawn timer, even if they captured it, like, right after you died. That was always terrible, to be stuck with 12-second respawn. I died right as they captured it. Nice. So they changed that, at least, but I mean, they made Paris, so obviously things aren't going to get any better in the near future, are they? Like, they made this map not that long ago. So Soldier snuck up on us. We could hear him coming, but, like, when I watched this earlier and, like, went back, like, did we hear Soldier coming? Like, I had to know, with hindsight, that Soldier was coming to pick the footsteps out, because Soldier's footsteps don't exactly stand out very much, do they? It's not like when McCree's sneaking up on you, you can hear his fucking spurs jingle-jangling. And that's why McCree's not a very good flanker. You know who's the best flanker, though? Oh, who's ready for, like, a 2-year-old joke, also? Zenyatta's the best flanker in the game, because he doesn't make any footstep sounds. Haha, relevant joke. How do you do, fellow kids? So, first push didn't go particularly well. Our team wasn't very interested in going in as a unit, and they're still not very interested in doing that right now, as we can see. Reinhardt and Hammond going in way ahead of us. Reaper is all the fuck way over there. Moira's going up mid by herself, so, you know, this is all going very well. Lucio's on us right now. Big mood, you know. Miss the dynamite. I miss the dynamite all the time. Don't feel too bad about it. We could have used the coach gun way sooner than this, and, like, we actually could have probably detonated the dynamite with the coach gun, to be fair, because if we used it, like, right now, we push this guy away from us, which is good, because he's, like, right on us right now. Ashe doesn't like people being right on her. And, we're already low, so using the coach gun to, like, get distance right now is justified. And I push him back, and it would have detonated the dynamite at the same time. But, you know, aim better, all that. Fun fact, the coach gun can actually detonate the dynamite. People are always surprised to find that out for some reason. It does actually detonate the dynamite. It's just that usually you are nowhere near close enough to the dynamite for the coach gun to actually do anything, you know. But if, like, somebody's right on your face, you know, you can chuck the dynamite coach gun away and use that to get the dynamite at the same time. But you don't want to be too close to the dynamite still, because Ashe can get hit by the blast. Because I like to complain about the lack of consistency in this game a lot, you might have noticed. why does Ashe get hit by her own dynamite, but Widowmaker doesn't get hit by Venom Mine? You know? I guess Widowmaker because, like, she's got blue skin because, like, her body temperature is drastically lower, right? So maybe if your body temperature is low enough, you just can't be affected by poison anymore, you know? Who knows? Who knows? Snakes are cold-blooded, right? You know, we got cold-blooded lizards out there, so, hey, yeah, sure, it works out. Widowmaker, actually a lizard. There you go, found the problem. Ashe, not some kind of fire lizard, so tragically she doesn't get to be immune from her own dot. But, you know, nice and consistent, just like how Junkrat doesn't get hit by his own explosions, even though all he has to protect himself is some dirt and shorts. Meanwhile, Pharah, wearing high-tech, cutting-edge battle armor, kills herself more frequently than the enemy team with her own ultimate. So, but, you know, Junkrat can just detonate something that is more than half as powerful as D.Va's mech explosion, right next to him and take no damage. Moreover, D.Va's wearing this nice cat suit, right? Or, like a schoolgirl outfit. She can stand touching like a nuclear bomb as it goes off. No issue. No problem, ma'am. But, you know, Ashe throws some dynamite and she's fucking... That's half Ashe's health gone right there. You know, Reinhardt wearing Crusader armor, also quite cutting edge, top of the line battle armor, 500 health, some of which is armor. Roadhog is fat, 600 health. You know, that's all fine. No issues here. Everything seems to check out. Yeah, I'm still mad about all of these things, and they haven't been fixed, so I'll continue to be mad about them, okay? Anyway, so we've got this fight going. It's going fairly well right now. We did chuck the dynamite. Did we chuck it at the wall, or was it, like, same time? Yeah, more or less the same time we pushed the button. Unfortunate. It is better to just try and shoot Mei, to be fair, because Mei, she's got ice block, yeah. She got ice block, so, like, the dynamite, you know, it's easier to hit the dynamite, but with Ashe, it's better to just try and headshot Mei, because that's more likely to kill her than the dynamite is. We did chuck Bob in there. I'm not really very excited to use Bob right now, because most of our team is already dead, so I would like to save Bob for the next attempted team fight instead. Pretty good try on getting him, to be fair. I wouldn't have bothered to try and get the dynamite on the guy, so, yeah. But we were pretty hosed by that point regardless, so, yeah. I didn't want to use Bob there, though, because that team fight was already looking pretty bad, and I would like to save Bob for the next team fight that we have a decent chance of actually winning, rather than that one, which we had a pretty low chance of winning. Just saw someone in chat had second account in their name. It might have even been us. I just caught a glimpse of second account in the chat log, and I was like, why are we doing that? Why are we putting second account in our name, you know? By the way, I'm a Smurf, just so everybody knows. Funny how it's always the losing team that has the Smurfs, isn't it? Isn't that odd? You don't see whenever people are talking about how they're a Smurf, it's never the winning team, is it? It's always the losing team. If anybody's talking about a Smurf on the winning team, it's always the team that lost still, isn't it? Isn't that strange? I wonder why all the Smurfs are on the losing team. It's so odd. Anyway, you know, Overwatch community's great. We shouldn't really be poking our face out as much as we have been, because our team hasn't been with us, so we've never been likely to accomplish too much by doing this, except risk getting picked off. We have at least been generating ult charge, so that's nice, but like, we've been poking our face out pretty close to the enemy team while we've been waiting for our team to regroup, and, you know, we're in silver, so it's not like our team is likely to get a full group reset or anything like that. But we do want to wait till, like, some people are around us, at least, you know, so that we can sacrifice them, more or less, if something bad starts happening. So, a bit of a regroup, you know, we got a couple people near us, that's about as best we're gonna get. Everybody's going from a different direction still, but, you know, such is life. That's not gonna get any better, trust me, if I can get all the way up to Masters and that's still happening, but, so a soldier's popped out at us, you know, aim better. chucked the dynamite at him, we didn't get the dynamite either again, so life is very sad. Soldier was up in a very aggressive position. Oh, Soldier ends up in such wacky places, doesn't he? I heard the damage marker right as I saw 3 people die in the kill feed. I was like, that was a sick dynamite. Oh no, it was Reaper using his ultimate. That makes a lot more sense, actually. Not much to say about the game so far, to be honest, other than just, like, you know, aim better, more or less. And we're on the console, so aiming's gonna be harder as well, but, we've been playing, like, far back. It's just, we've had some interesting flanks happen, you know. Our team hasn't been very interested in actually playing, like, a group, so life's difficult. We did get the dynamite right there. We got some ult charge building up now as well. It is good to, like, get the dynamite out there pretty frequently while you're building ult charge, just because the dynamite's really easy to hit, and if you hit a bunch of people with it, you can get, like, 30% ult charge on a really good dynamite, right? Like, it's pretty sick. May's using her ultimate right now, just heard it start getting used. This is a very interesting place to be using her ultimate, but May was already in an interesting place to begin with, wasn't she? Didn't get anyway with that dynamite, very sad. I think someone did run around the corner, but they didn't stick around. So even though 2 people died out there, we got, like, you know, we got a couple kills right there, so that would have been a good time to just, like, go through the gate, but everybody's going up around this way instead, so, you know. Life is really hard, okay? Like, this has been one of those situations so far where we were never super likely to make any difference here unless, like, we killed the whole enemy team, you know? It's been one of those games so far. Again, we could have used the coach gun way sooner than this to get him off of us. Could have got the dynamite at the same time again for free, because he was, like, right in the path of the dynamite as well. If someone's on you, you just want them off you, like, as soon as possible, basically. Like, there's no point saving the coach gun unless you're, like, really confident that you're gonna, like, get a good headshot in on the guy and then you can finish him off with the coach gun. Or, you know, sometimes you can machine gun the guy, it doesn't need to be a headshot, and you can finish him off with the coach gun, but, like, to me, it's just not worth the risk. Like, I'm happier to just, like, get the guy off of me, you know? Because the coach gun is, like, a pretty fucking good disengage. Especially if it's a Genji that's trying to get you. Here's a sick tip for you if you're playing Ashe and a Genji's trying to kill you. If he starts deflecting in front of you, he just let you get away. Because now you can coach gun him and get the deflect, and you will get double knockback, right? Because you'll get knockback from firing the coach gun, and then you will also get the knockback from the deflected shots coming back at you, which will do, like, no damage, because the coach gun is still, like, very bad damage, unless you are literally, like, eye to eye with Genji. Like, you will take, like, no damage, and you will just be, like, 1,000 miles away from Genji, and he will be very upset. So there's some fun for it, especially as he probably used dash to get up to you as well, and then you just coach gun away from him. Always very fun. It's pretty risky to use the coach gun for movement, like, right there. I'm fine with using it out of spawn, because, like, it's 1,000 miles away from the enemy team, right? But, like, right here, especially given what the enemy team have shown us so far, right? Like, we're likely to get flanked by Lucio and or May and or Soldier in the near future. So, like, I don't want to use coach gun when I'm this close to the enemy team. So I would have chucked Bob in, like, as soon as the self-destruct's going off, really, because we can see the arc that the self-destruct is going in, right? And Bob is a lot better if you can use it while something else is diverting the enemy team's attention. So we see self-destruct is going yonder. If we throw Bob yonder, then that makes life very difficult for the enemy team. Because if self-destruct's here, they're gonna start, like, going in this direction, basically. Unless they're, like, out here, in which case they're gonna go that way, I guess. But, you know, under most circumstances, you would expect the defending team to be, like, on this side of the self-destruct. So they're gonna start going that way, away from the self-destruct. So then if we throw Bob over here, in running away from the self-destruct, they are advancing into Bob, which is great for us, and very bad for them. Bob's a lot better if you can chuck it in there at the same time somebody else is diverting his attention. Because Bob is, like, it's very easy for Bob to just get, like, killed very quickly, or crowd-controlled. But if something else is diverting their attention at the same time, hey, now they have to worry about 2 things. So I went back to see why we used Coach Gun. We used it here to get away from Reaper, but he just Wraith formed up to us, which is the correct play from Reaper. he did the correct thing, which was Wraith form back up to us, and we just used Coach Gun, so, you know. Nobody's around us to help us, so pretty much our only option at that point was going to be, like, run and hope our teammates help us. Fat chance. Or, like, headshot the Reaper and try and kill him before he kills us. And you don't want to ever be in that kind of position where you're like, well, it's me or you, right? But that's about the best we could have hoped for in that situation, sadly. Reaper being one of those heroes where it's difficult for any one person to really deal with Reaper unless you've got hard crowd control, which will help you. Like, McCree, flashbang, fan, Reaper is probably dead. Or, you know, headshot Reaper twice, Reaper is dead. But Ashe, no such luxury, sadly, only has a knockback. So we're out real far, right? I've actually never even been in this building. I've been down this alleyway, I've actually never gone in that building before. So we see that there's a Bastion right there. So I don't want to throw a shuriken right now, because we see Bastion, and us throwing a shuriken right now just gives away the fact that we're behind them. And it's going to accomplish not a lot, right? Like, we'll get a little ult charge off hitting D.Va. That's it. And now they know we're here. But we saw Bastion, so if we just waited, like, they aren't going to look over here, right? Like, they aren't going to check this alleyway to see if somebody's here. So if we just wait until Bastion sets up, we can then go up behind Bastion and then just do the fan into his power cell a couple times, and he's going to either do one of two things. He's going to turn around and look at us, in which case we can play Genji at him, right? Or he's going to, like, go into recon form and start running, at which point we can still, like, try and finish him off before we have to worry about dashing and disengaging, because everybody else is still going in. So we can just try and kill the guy, right? Batista's there, so it's unlikely we would get the kill on him, but if Batista reacted in time, but that would be a better use of our time than just, like, throwing the shuriken at them and immediately giving ourselves away. Because look, hey, now we're doing it, right? Now we're doing the exact thing. We didn't do it great. Did we throw... That's the line we did right there. So when you're, like, touching someone, you're better off, like, we just did the fan. When we would use the fan, it would have been a better idea to use the line, because we're still far enough away that the fan isn't likely to hit all the shurikens. But then we use the line, we could just get a foot closer and then fan into his power core, right? Because he still actually doesn't know we're here, even though we just threw all these shurikens at him. So, like, we could, again, just play it a little cooler right now, get real close to him, and then just fan into his power core a couple times, and he's gonna be mostly dead. And, like, that fan, like, we're touching the guy. This line we did right here, like, we're touching the guy and we still did the line. Like, that's definitely fan territory right there. Like, anytime you're in a position where, like, you're likely to hit all three of the fans, it's better to do that, right? And then we're starting to panic a little bit at this point. And, you know, if we hit a couple of those, we might have finished him off, especially since we had the dash to try and finish him as well. But sadly, you know, aim better, all that. We did manage to get a kill on Reinhardt, which is very surprising, but we got him, and he's probably upset about that one. He was like, I'm out, I'm free! Dash into the wall, very sad. It's Reaper, so, like, you know, we're getting away from him. We did turn tail and run, so he isn't, like, slowly gaining on us, because, fun fact, when you're running backwards, you are actually going at 90% speed, which is why it always feels like the Reinhardt catches up to you. It's because he's running 10% faster than you, because he's running forward and you're running backwards. Actually, Genji, I got told Genji and Tracer run at 110%, so they would actually be running full speed backwards, wouldn't they? For most people, anyway. Assuming that's true. I was told Genji and Tracer are faster by 10%, but I've never actually, like, bothered to verify that information, because I'm lazy, and, you know, people don't lie on the internet, right? Like, it's fine. So, this was a mad optimistic dash, because we don't know how low Reinhardt is right now. This guy, if this guy's full health, we ain't getting a reset on this dash, right? Like, anytime we're dashing into the enemy team like that, we've got to, like, have a really good reason to do that. Because we just put ourselves in the middle of the enemy team and then didn't have our escape anymore. Same deal here. These people are probably still full health, right? Like, maybe the plan is to dash in and use Dragon Blade, but we are not healthy enough to do that. We got 100 health. We don't want to do that regardless. So, it's optimistic because these people are likely to be very healthy, and therefore we're not likely to get a reset off this dash, and we put ourselves in the middle of the Bastion Reinhardt without our dash. And if the plan was to use Dragon Blade, that's still not a good plan, because we had 100 health at the time. So we're still like Reinhardt's got to slap us twice, and we're dead, right? At that point. And if anybody helps him, it's all over. But anyway, so we died. We didn't use Dragon Blade, so we get to keep that, which is good. It is hard to use Dragon Blade versus a bunker comp unless you've got an Ana with you, which makes it significantly easier. But they aren't playing, like, super together, which is very nice. Use the lamp right here. I would have just used Dragon Blade right here, because now I know that they don't have the lamp. None of them are really looking at me right now. Roadhog looks like he might be, but he's not. He's running towards the enemy team right now. So I would just use Dragon Blade right now. We could, like, dash into them as well, and then draw Dragon Blade to get the extra dash damage in right as we start as well. Or right there, like, they're knocked up. This is another good time to go in and use the Dragon Blade, because we can see Bastion's low, and they're all getting hit by Hammond's knock-up right now as well. Now they've used Sound Barrier, so we want to wait, and now Bastion's using Configuration Tank as well. But if we, like, used Dragon Blade way sooner right there, we could have probably killed them, at least some of them. Like, Bastion, I'm pretty sure, would be dead at this point. And then we would have stopped this whole engagement, pretty much, right then and there. We elected to not use Dragon Blade instead. You know, it was like pretty good time. Like, they're all, like, right there. Like, we could have hit multiple people with that, with each Dragon Blade swing right there. So, and we saw they used the lamp, so there was no risk of the lamp saving them. We saw Lucio did have Sound Barrier up. I almost said Lucio had Dragon Blade up. Wouldn't that be scary? No, Lucio had Sound Barrier up, we found out, so he might have saved somebody right there, but given that we just saw them use the lamp, it was a pretty good time to try and get at least, like, the Bastion with it. And we could dash through them and then draw the blaze so we get the dash damage in and then reset it afterwards as well. Because ideally, when you're in, like, that kind of position, you go dash, Dragon Blade, cut, dash, and, like, someone is probably dead, and they died very quickly, because it's not terribly long. You basically just got the Dragon Blade draw animation to go through, and that's it. Yeah, but we elected not to do that instead, and whatever. We do still have Dragon Blade for this upcoming team fight, at least. We can still win, because we did get some progress on the second checkpoint, because if we had gotten no progress on the second checkpoint, boy, wouldn't this be sad. Another reason it working in 25% increments would be way better than 33% increments. It would be a lot harder for a game to end in a draw off the first checkpoint like that. So Reaper is, oh god, this was a very risky use of the dash, because this Reaper, we don't know how wounded he was at the time, quite likely to be fairly healthy still. And we just dashed, like, right up to a Reaper that we don't know the health on. Oh god, like, that's scary. Went for a optimistic deflect right there. Like, Reinhardt was gonna have to be pretty, like, foolish to chuck his Fire Strike at us right there, and that was kind of all that was worth deflecting. So we're really low right now. We should be, like, trying to pick up a health kit or just go back in spawn and heal. Like, you know, we don't want to be walking around at 80 health because, like, one thing hits us, we die, right? Anytime you're in, like, range where you can get, like, randomly one shot, then you don't want to be hanging around at that anymore. We did dash out of the gate, correct? We dashed, like, to get out. Yeah, we dashed to get out here faster and then found a Reaper. We're still walking into the Reaper, which we shouldn't be doing, because Reaper would love if we were right next to him. Genji does have a longer effective range than Reaper does, because we can do the line of shurikens, and we can outrange Reaper rather than getting right next to him. If we think Reaper's bad, we can try and deflect the shots into him, but that does require Reaper being bad, right? It's a weird point as well, where he has to be bad, like, he has to be good enough to get, like, a decent shot in for us to deflect it, but he has to be bad enough to have shot us. So it's like a weird range of badness that he has to be in. But any play that's, like, revolves around the enemy team being bad is itself a bad play. Because you should expect the enemy team to play decently, you know? We should not have dashed like this, because we could find 6 people around this corner, and then we won't have our dash, and we will be very sad if they turn around and focus us, right? Not likely to happen in Silver, but it would happen in, like, most higher SRs, so anyway. We didn't do this entirely optimally, because optimally we would dash through this Lucio first, but there are mines there, so I can understand why we wouldn't do that, but then we did it after we drew the Dragon Blade anyway, so... we got Earth Shattered by, Reinhardt, so that's very upsetting. We shouldn't just, like, get up and deflect right here, because Zenyatta's using Transcendence on us right now, so... us getting up and just, like, deflecting right now is unnecessary. I get a lot is happening around us, and it's very scary, but we're actually not at much risk, and, like, the things that are of risk to us right now are things that we can't deflect anyway. Like, Reinhardt could pin us, and that would kill us through Transcendence, but we can't deflect the pin, sadly, so... no point to really doing that. And again, just wasting more time on Dragon Blade, seeing as we got up and then deflected with the Dragon Blade. I'm not sure why we just dashed up in the air like that, maybe, again, scared that we were about to die, but, like, not much was happening at that point. Most of the problems had been resolved. Anyway, if you get Earth Shattered while you're using Dragon Blade, you know, life is hard. Yeah, that's the scary thing about fighting around a Roadhog, is that can happen. We did see Roadhog coming ahead of time, so, you know, it is us that has the second account in the name. Why are we doing that? Why are we putting second account in our name? Anyway, whatever. You do whatever you want with your life. I ain't here to judge. Only a little bit, anyway, you know. That is kind of the point of this whole arrangement, is to judge you at least a little bit, you know? But I ain't here to judge, like, you know? I'm here to judge you as Genji. So, we've got to build up Dragon Blade again. We have only used Dragon Blade once this entire time, and we're almost 8 minutes into this game, so... that's not great. Like, anytime you build your ult, you do want to use it as soon as you possibly can, so that you can start working on the second ultimate. Now, you don't want to just use... ooh, fuck. Nice. Genji killed Pharah with Barrage. Always good to see. Like, you don't want to... like, you still want to use the ultimate on, like, a good attempt, right? Like, you don't want to just throw it out there for the sake of throwing it out there, unless you're planning to change heroes. Just go pick up a health kit. Like, the guy isn't paying attention. Like, don't waste your time trying to get the guy who is obviously not paying attention, trying to get him to pay attention. Just go and, like, just assume he's not going to pay attention, and just go get health from somewhere else. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Like, you still want to try and... unless you're going to, like, trying to change heroes. You don't want to just, like, throw the ultimate one out there whenever, but, like, you do want to use it at, like, the best good opportunity you get, so you can start working on the next one. Especially one as powerful as Dragon Blade, where you do want to, like, use this ultimate a lot. Like, this is a good ultimate. You want to use it at every opportunity. Hard when, like, the enemy team's coming at you one at a time, and, like, your teammates don't want to really help you. Like, you know, it can be hard, but we do want to be using it as much as we can. Arzen just used Trance. Hammond's being very productive right now. Their Genji's using Dragon Blade, so that's scary. We're going over here to get this health kit. Now we're going to use Dragon Blade. We did manage to get past the minefields. So, the thing with using Dragon Blade like this is we haven't had time to think about what we're doing with Dragon Blade, because, like, when we draw it, all we can see is Hammond, right? So, the only thing out here to cut might be Hammond, and that has largely ended up being the case. Oh, look, Genji killed Bastion with Configuration Tank. Nice. And that was largely the case, so we didn't... you know, we used that really early, and then we couldn't find anybody to really use it on, except Hammond. We also drew it in, like, an unfortunate place where we were going to have to use the dash to get to, like, anywhere even remotely, like, viable to use a Dragon Blade in. So we drew it in kind of an unfortunate place as well. We were getting health at the time, but we didn't put too much forethought into that and couldn't find anybody to use it on. You don't want to be the Genji that's having to look for something to do with Dragon Blade, you know? Things are not looking good. C9, you know... letter number, but, like, let's be real, we fucking died as soon as we touched the point, so whatever. Like, was that like a 5-stack and they still were just going at them one at a time? Great teamwork, guys, great coordination. Roadhog got played again? What did Roadhog even do? Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Oh, Zenyatta stayed on, though. Great job, Zenyatta. Great news. Great. 14 Death Blossom kills off 6 Death Blossoms. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Good job, good job. So there is a question in the email today, and it is, I would like to ask about Dragon Blade and its use. I usually, no matter how much forethought, lose sight of all enemies the second I dash in, and can't ever see them again, and get picked off instead. So we didn't really see much of that in this game. We only used Dragon Blade twice in the whole time, I think, and neither one was like a massive, like, we used forethought and then, like, lost track of people during the fight. Because, you know, if you plan it all out and then just lose track of them after you start using the Dragon Blade, then yeah, I can't really give you advice for that one, because that's basically like, well, it'd basically me end up saying, well, work on your spatial awareness, right? Which is kind of like me saying, work on your aim, right? Like, it's not particularly helpful advice. Based off this game, we didn't see much forethought used, but, I mean, we only used it twice, and it was kind of like one of those games where, like, our team was never together, so, you know, it's gonna be hard to find opportunities to use Dragon Blade. So, like, the way to make it easiest, to, like, keep track of the people is that, like, you pick, one or two people that you really want fucking dead, right? So Mercy, the obvious example. Assume we want, like, we'll just say we want Mercy and Soldier dead, right? Like, two fairly straightforward examples. So the one we really want dead is Mercy, right? She's the one that our prime target, we want the support dead before we worry about the DPS. Sometimes you can't always get to the support, so you start prioritizing the DPS more, because the supports are, like, playing well, or, like, people are helping them, I know. Horrifying flaw. But sometimes you can't get to them, so you prioritize the DPS. But ideally, we get the support first. So the way to make it easiest to, like, keep track of the Mercy is literally just dash right up to Mercy, draw Dragon Blade. Mercy is now going to use GA to fly away from you, because you just dashed up to her and used Dragon Blade. But you dashed up to her and then drew Dragon Blade. So you got the reset off drawing Dragon Blade. And so then you just watch where Mercy GAs to, and then follow her with the second dash, and then, you know, she can't immediately dash right after arriving again, right? Especially not using GA in panic. She's probably not in a great position anyway. So that's, like, the easiest way to keep track of someone, is just that, like, you dash, like, right up to the person you want dead, and then draw Dragon Blade right next to them. And then, you know, if there's someone like Mercy, Moira, they've got an escape, so you have to then look for where they go and follow them, which is harder for Moira, because she, like, goes invisible, right? Mercy you can see flying away. But, you know, then you dash after them off the reset, and now that's it. They can't do it again. And at that point, they're not going to do anything fancy, so it should be easy to keep track of them at that point, because they're kind of, like, set. They've used their escape already, right? So that's, like, the easiest way you could keep track of someone after using Dragon Blade. This method is significantly worse if you have an Ana on your team, because ideally you want to get nano boosted, right? And if you've got an Ana on your team and you're playing Genji, the classic advice is dash up into the air and then draw Dragon Blade in the air. Because then you're up in the sky, Ana can't possibly miss you, it's very hard to get line of sighted because you're just up in the sky, right? Like, very easy if you got an Ana with you to just coordinate the Dragon Blade like that. And then you dash in, out, and then you, like, look at the people as you're falling down and then dash in. So that's gonna be harder to, like, keep track of people, but, like, if you just, like, dash right up to the person and then draw it, like, all you've got to do is follow where they go with their escape, and then that's it. Like, just follow them with the second dash, easy peasy. They can't do anything fancy anymore at that point. So that should be the easiest way if your issue is specifically, like, losing track of them during the fight. Just pick, like, one or two that you really want dead and, like, focus on them. And, you know, if you're focusing on, like, more than, like, one or two, right, the two, you're gonna have to, like, figure out where the other person is ahead of time and then try and follow them after that, because, you know, you dash up to the one, draw the blade, she GAs away, fades away, whatever, you follow them, then you cut them. You got the reset off killing that guy, ideally. So now you've got to figure out where the other guy was again. So ideally, before you go after the one guy, you look for the other one ahead of time and go, alright, so I'm going to go to Mercy, and Soldier is over there. Soldier is probably still going to be roughly in that area when I'm done doing this, right? Like, we're on Paris, right? Second checkpoint. Alright, so Mercy is up on the bit behind the point, right? So I'm gonna go up to her immediately, but I see Soldier is over there, like, tucked away to the right side of the point, right, up towards the back. So, like, Soldier is still gonna be over there by the time I'm done with Mercy, so I'm gonna, like, dash up to Mercy, draw Dragon Blade, she's gonna GA away, I'm gonna follow her, and then look over there, oh, Soldier is still roughly in that position, so I'm now gonna go over and try and kill Soldier and dash up to him after the reset, right? Or look over there, oh, soldier's gone now, so I'm just gonna have to find somebody else to hit with this Dragon Blade real quick, because I don't know where that guy went anymore. But, you know, that's the best advice I can give you if it's, like, losing track of people during it. Just, like, pick the two you really want to fuck. Dash up to the one, and straight away, just go straight for him, and then just try and bear in mind where the other one was roughly after that. And then try and get him. Because... you know, if it's, like, it says it's not an issue of, like, no matter how much forethought, lose sight of the enemy. So, yeah, based off that, it sounds like you know you're meant to put forethought into it. Because ideally, you have the full priority mapped out in your mind, right? Like, I'm going to get this one, and then I'm going to get that one, and then I'm going to get that one. But, like, mapping, like, 3 or 4 people ahead is something that, like, you've got to work on over time, really. And if it's, like... you're just learning how to play Genji, like, you're still getting used to it, you're still not used to using Dragon Blade, just pick 1 or 2 people you really want dead, and then just plan that one out as best as you can. And just, like, alright, and you feel like, well, I lose track of people in a fight, I'm just gonna try and make it as easy as possible, and just, like, go right for that motherfucker. And just, like, right up in front of him, draw it, follow him. That's the best I can give you for that one. Other than, you know, get better spatial awareness, which is... aim better, right? Like, not good advice. That's the best I can give you for that one, though. So, anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you felt I answered your email from the question inadequately, please let me know, and I will try to expand further. If you haven't already, you could join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. I've started streaming on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 8 p.m. EST till midnight EST, and there's a link to the channel in the description below. And if you managed to make it all the way through the video and somehow still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future, and I hope you found the video helpful.